This armored vehicle is built on the sturdy SADCO 4x4 chassis and powered by a diesel engine that delivers between 135 and 210 horsepower. Drivers can choose between manual or automatic transmission, and on the road, it can hit speeds up to 100 kilometers per hour. With a range of up to 1,400 kilometers on a full tank, it's designed to cover serious ground. It measures just under 6 meters long, a little over 2 meters wide, and a bit more than 2 meters tall. It weighs about 5.9 tons empty and up to 8.8 tons fully loaded, carrying anywhere from 1 to 2.5 tons depending on the module. It can also cross water up to 1.2 meters deep using a snorkel system. In terms of protection, it can take hits from 7.62 millimeters armor-piercing rounds and handle artillery fragments. The floor can survive blasts equivalent to 600 grams of TNT under the wheels or hull. The steel cabin is welded together as a single structure, and the windows are resistant to bullets. Even with a flat tire, the vehicle can keep moving for up to 50 kilometers. What really makes this vehicle special is how its rear modules can be swapped out in the field. Need to move troops? There's a version for that. Medical evacuation? There's one for that too. From the APC-5, APC-6, and APC-10 troop carriers to cargo beds, ambulances, and command units, all versions bolt onto the same front cabin and share the same protection and performance. CRAB was first shown in 2012, is a compact 4x4 armored scout vehicle designed as part of France's Scorpion program. It's typically operated by a crew of 3 and measures around 5 meters long, 2.5 wide, and just less than 2 meters high. Depending on armor and upgrades, it weighs between 8 and 10 tons. Its 6-cylinder turbo diesel engine puts out about 320 horsepower, giving it a top speed of around 110 kilometers per hour. Some variants are fitted with engines up to 400 horsepower for extra performance. The suspension is fully adjustable, and a unique axle steering system even lets it move sideways, true to its CRAB name. Armor protection starts at level 2 to 3 and can be pushed to level 4, defending against heavy machine gun fire and mines. Inside, the crew is shielded by angled hull armor, blast-resistant seating, and bulletproof glass. There's no fixed weapon. Instead, the CRAB supports a variety of remote-controlled systems, capable of handling everything from machine guns and grenade launchers to anti-tank and anti-air missiles. A digital network links sensors, weapons, and crew stations, giving full 360-degree awareness. The Cockerill IX was unveiled in 2022, and it is faster, lighter, and built with a different purpose. It's a 2-seater that weighs about 3.5 tons and uses a carbon fiber hull. On the road, it reaches up to 200 kilometers per hour and can go from 0 to 100 in 6 seconds. During a 2023 SWAT raid in Texas, officers used mobile shields like the LD-1 to push forward safely while taking heavy fire. The LD-1 works in tight spaces and wide open zones alike. It's useful for entries, stairwells, evacuations, and safely moving gear or wounded individuals into or out of danger. While it was designed with the Polaris Sportsman in mind, its mounting system makes it adaptable to similar ATVs. Its shield kit turns the Polaris Sportsman 850 Premium ATV into a fast-moving armored vehicle, purpose-built for high-risk situations. Its frame is made from laser-cut, high-strength steel and coated with a tough industrial finish. The armor panels meet strict ballistic standards and can be swapped out when needed. Thick, multi-hit ballistic glass gives full visibility while stopping serious threats. Protection wraps entirely around the driver, and when the doors open, the shield extends to create a 120-inch safety zone for nearby team members. What stands out is how this kit adds serious defense without slowing the vehicle down. The ATV keeps all of its original power, speed, and handling, even over rough terrain or in bad weather. Nothing about the machine's core functionality gets blocked or weighed down. The shield attaches using custom steel brackets, which means no permanent changes to the ATV. It's modular too. The whole system can be lifted off in one piece for maintenance or transport. Quick open doors make it easy to jump in or out fast, a detail that matters in active operations. Switching magnification mid-movement has always been a clumsy trade-off. Either adjust your zoom or keep your grip. The Scopeswitch changes that. It lets you stay locked in with your support hand while dialing your magnification on the fly, just using your thumb. The system weighs about 10 ounces for the mount, around 4 for the cable and slider. It supports 30 and 34 mm scopes. A stainless steel cable glides through a set of rollers and pulleys for smooth movement. You can set it up for either hand by rerouting the cable, depending on whether you prefer to push or pull the slider. Just make sure your scope has a low-friction zoom ring and your rail gives you at least 11.5 inches of room. Setup isn't quick. Expect to spend some time fitting it right, aligning the mount, adding shims, threading the cable. Many will want a gunsmith involved, but once it's installed, the payoff is solid. The thumb slider gives instant magnification changes without moving off target or breaking your stance. This thing was tested hard and didn't flinch. The metal parts hold up under pressure, and the cable system keeps working even when pushed. And if you're wondering what happens if it goes electronic, don't worry, there's still a manual option. Speaking of that, a motorized version is already in the works. It was previewed at SHOT Show 2025 and includes push-button zoom, all in a compact housing. It still works with standard 30 and 34 mm optics. Is it possible to spot danger before anyone hears it coming? That's the job of DRS-RADA's radar systems, which are designed to track incoming rockets, artillery shells, drones, and other threats in real time. These systems aren't just for one type of mission. They've been adapted for everything from ground-based defense to naval and mobile operations. At the core is the AKSUM, a compact radar unit using S-band technology and active MIMO antennas. Each one covers 90 degrees horizontally and vertically, and 4 units together watch an entire hemisphere. It runs on just 200 watts, connects through Ethernet, and handles extreme temperatures. Detection ranges vary by target, up to 4 kilometers for rockets, 3 kilometers for tiny drones, 15 kilometers for helicopters or vehicles, and 22 kilometers for fast jets. It also can track hundreds of objects at once, filter out clutter, and adapt to different missions. These radars aren't concepts are in use across more than 30 countries, including frontline units in the US Marine Corps. Integrated with weapon systems like Smart Shooter's Smash Hopper, they form a complete detection-to-engagement chain. Quick to respond and tough to fool, they provide early warning, pinpoint threat locations, and keep troops a step ahead when seconds count. Croatia isn't just known for Game of Thrones filming locations and strong football teams. Their expertise extends to cutting-edge anti-terrorism tech as well. At a recent Special Forces exhibition, they demonstrated the MV3 Testudo platform in action. It measures just under 5 meters long, weighs over 6 tons, and moves on rugged tracks powered by a 36 kilowatt-hour battery. This vehicle isn't fast, topping out at 8 kilometers per hour, but speed isn't the point. It's designed to move methodically through unstable, high-risk zones, where sending people would be dangerous or impossible. It can carry 8 personnel, haul up to 700 kilograms of gear, and includes secure internal storage. For more, it is remote controlled from up to 500 meters away. It's made for work where distance matters, and it can quickly be reconfigured. Attachments at the front and rear snap in depending on the task, whether that's breaching walls with a ram, pulling down obstacles with a harpoon, or transporting shields and cameras for tactical teams. Its gripper can move debris or suspect objects, and a telescopic camera mast offers high ground visuals, even in low light. 9 cameras and 2 monitors feed real-time views to the operator. Audio tools like a mic, speakers, and megaphone allow for communication, or distraction, at a distance. Onboard sensors detect chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threats, plus oxygen levels, giving teams more than just sight. They get environmental data before entering. Stena feels less like a machine and more like a silent guardian. Calm, unshakable, built to stand between people and chaos. It weighs in at 28 tons and runs on a 4-axle CAM-AZ truck. It's been developed specifically to handle large-scale unrest in urban environments. The design puts protection first. The cab sits over the engine, reinforced with ballistic armor, and even the mirrors and side windows are covered with mesh grills. The centerpiece is the hydraulically powered shield. It folds out in 5 steel sections, forming a broad U-shape in just over 3 minutes, twice as fast as earlier models. There's no mesh here, it's all solid metal now. Hydraulic arms push the shield into position and double as a kind of plow to clear debris. A blade attached to the bumper helps with that too. Each section of the shield has a small viewing window, and the sides have firing slits with covers. Personnel can stand on small fold-down platforms while engaging from behind the barrier, then fold them back up when it's time to move. Underneath, rubber skirts hang low to block anything that might be thrown or kicked under the wall. Floodlights up front can light up a crowd, while loudspeakers and strobes give law enforcement more tools to manage tension without using direct force. Cameras mounted around the vehicle stream live video to screens inside the cab, helping the crew stay aware of everything happening around them. Fire extinguishers are mounted on board in case things escalate. Unveiled in 2023, the MADF marks a turning point for STREIT Group. A company once defined by its tough, no-frills armored trucks is now making a move into more focused combat roles. It's a shift from simply surviving the battlefield to shaping it. This mobile air defense vehicle is designed for tough. Everything about it points to function over flash. Its armor can take hits from 7.62mm armor-piercing rounds and survive blasts from mines. Under the hood, it likely runs a V8 engine, pushing 300 to 400 horsepower. With its 4x4 or 6x6 chassis, it can move fast up to around 120 kilometers per hour, even over rough ground. The frame supports radar units, remote-controlled weapon stations, missile systems, and electronic warfare equipment. Thanks to its modular setup, systems can be swapped out or upgraded quickly. Onboard tech includes GPS, intercoms, and battlefield communications to keep the crew connected. Inside, the space is practical. There's room for a driver, a commander, and potentially 4 more specialists who run the systems. The steel body is designed to absorb blasts from below while keeping the overall weight manageable, which helps with mobility in difficult terrain. Where this vehicle really earns its place is in its role. It can keep up with moving units, shield convoys, or provide protection at remote outposts, anywhere air threats might appear without warning. Up next is a vehicle designed with assault teams in mind. Its key feature is a fold-out ramp that lets teams enter buildings fast and efficiently. It's big 7.6 meters long, over 2.3 meters wide, and just over 3 meters tall, and it rides on a Ford chassis. That means it's powered by a 6.7-liter engine through a 10-speed automatic transmission and a 4-wheel drive system. It's designed to handle rough ground with reinforced suspension, run flat tires, and an elevated stance, and it can carry up to 10 people. It's the integrated hydraulic ramp system sitting over the bed of the truck is a tool built specifically for getting into places fast. The system includes front-mounted vertical ladders that stretch to about 7 meters high and rear stairs that make it easy to get on top of the vehicle. The whole thing is operated from inside the truck, so there's no need to set up anything separately or bring extra equipment. Protection is serious. The armor is designed to stop rifle rounds and even handle grenade blasts. Everything is reinforced: the glass, the hinges, the engine bay, and the battery compartments. Inside, there are built-in surveillance systems, locking systems, and structural reinforcements. Teams can also add gear like fire suppression, night vision, and crowd control tools, depending on the job. The Sentry isn't for routine patrols. It's made for high-risk entries, hostage rescues, counterterrorism, urban breaches. It's not subtle or small, but that's the point. It shows up ready, stays solid under pressure, and gives teams exactly what they need to take control fast. Very few military vehicles pull double duty like Zaha. It's not just a transporter or a floating box with armor. It's a fully amphibious combat vehicle that moves seamlessly from sea to land, ready to go the moment it hits the shore. Developed for Turkey's naval forces and entering service in 2023, it's deployed from Anadolu and meant to support Marine brigades. Protection is solid across the board, armored to NATO's standards, built to resist mine blasts, fitted with smoke launchers and internal safety systems, and filtered against chemical or biological threats. It also includes tools for real-time battlefield communication and full situational awareness via cameras. Of course, a vehicle with all this power is big, 8.3 meters long and nearly 4 meters tall. It carries a crew of 3 along with up to 18 fully equipped troops. Powered by a 600 horsepower front-mounted diesel engine, it weighs around 30 tons and still reaches up to 70 kilometers per hour on land. It climbs steep slopes, fords trenches, and clears obstacles almost a meter high. In water, it's driven by twin rear jets at speeds up to 13 kilometers per hour, with a sealed hull designed to stay stable even in rough sea conditions. If it flips, it rights itself. The firepower is no afterthought either. It's armed with a 12.7mm machine gun and a 40mm grenade launcher. It tracks targets automatically, works in both day and night, and can turn and aim smoothly even when the vehicle's on the move. Only 27 are being produced, giving Turkey a highly specialized asset that few NATO members currently field. Not long ago, 2 German companies, REBO, known for farm machinery, and Rheinmetall, a major defense manufacturer, joined forces to create something new, an armored tractor. What immediately draws attention is how much thought went into the technical setup. The REBO-Rack is based on the John Deere 6R tractor. It runs a powerful rear PTO supported by axial piston hydraulics, a strong 3-point hitch at the back, and a 3-part boom system that reaches out 7.8 meters to either side. With a 270-degree swing range, it handles both right and left side work without changing direction. Control is managed by a proportional joystick system, which includes boom relief to reduce strain during operation. It's clearly built for real jobs, clearing roadsides, mowing embankments, or managing edge strips. The rack works with various attachments such as the GHA 700 or MRM 300, which can be adjusted individually using its tool rotation system. There's also a firefighting version, equipped with up to 2 water cannons. In that role, the rack becomes a mobile response unit, useful for hard-to-access terrain and wide-area spraying. This hybrid armored vehicle is designed to move fast, stay quiet, and keep its crew alive, all without taking up more space or weight than it has to. It fits into a C-130 or Chinook, and it can even be dropped in by parachute. First seen in 2018, it spent years in field trials and is now under serious consideration for France's next-gen armored fleet. It measures over 5 meters in length, over 2 meters across, and stands about 2 meters tall. It weighs around 8 tons, including a 2-ton payload, and offers enough room for a crew of 3, plus a 4th seat if needed. The driver sits up front in the center, with wide-angle visibility. Under the hood, a 300 horsepower V6 diesel works together with a 70 kilowatt electric motor. It supports 3 main drive modes: diesel only, hybrid for more power and efficiency, or all-electric for short, near-silent travel. In stealth mode, it can quietly roll about 10 kilometers at 15 kilometers per hour, or sit in place, sensors running, for up to 10 hours. It's capped at 130 kilometers per hour to keep things under control. Its permanent 4x4 drive let it handle off-road conditions easily. It can climb steep slopes, wade through water up to 0.8 meters deep, step over 0.4 meter obstacles, and sidestep across trenches using its crab walk feature, made possible by steering on both axles and a tight 11-meter turning circle. It runs on large R20 tires designed to keep going even when damaged. Next one is like a bulletproof Swiss Army knife on wheels, built for chaos, but calm in the storm. Designed for serious tasks like riot control and emergency response, this machine is powered by a 12.8-liter engine that pushes out around 480 horsepower. It comes in different setups: 4x2, 4x4, 6x4. If you need more, there is also a heavy-duty 6x6, which carries up to 15,000 liters of water. On top, there's a main water cannon with a reach of up to 90 meters, backed by smaller nozzles on the sides, front, and rear that can hit targets within 20 meters. Water flow is managed from inside the cabin using a central control panel, offering 3 modes: a steady spray, pulsed bursts, or short, high-pressure blasts. That same panel controls the water pump through an auxiliary engine system. It's a big machine, about 9 meters long, nearly 3 meters wide, and almost 4 meters tall, and weighs in at around 16 tons. The cabin is armored, with optional bulletproof plating and window grills. There's a built-in system to keep out tear gas or chemicals, and the tires can keep rolling for 50 kilometers even if they're hit. Fire protection comes from sprinklers under the vehicle and on the roof. For visibility and control, the Titan is fitted with cameras, rear and side sensors, and options for drone support. It records everything and comes with live broadcast and public address tools. Plus, there is even an onboard photo printer for identification or documentation in the field. Add-ons range from gas launchers to acoustic dispersal units and heavy-duty tools like winches or clearing blades. Some models include a built-in command room. Governments across Africa are already using it. It doesn't just drive, it takes over. Rezvani tank feels less like a car and more like something you'd expect to see in a war zone, except you can take it on public roads. Underneath the aggressive design are some serious power options. A base 3.6-liter V6 with 285 horsepower, or, if that's not enough, a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 pushing a ridiculous 1,000 horsepower. All of that is paired with all-wheel drive that kicks in when needed. Steel bumpers and optional extras like a winch and oversized brakes give it the tools to muscle through just about anything. As far as protection goes, it's hard to beat. The armor can handle high-powered rounds, the glass is bullet-resistant, the fuel tank, radiator, and battery are wrapped in Kevlar. It even comes with EMP shielding in case electronics go haywire. For more immediate threats, there's a smoke screen, electrified door handles, magnetic deadbolts, and pepper spray hidden in the doors. Thermal night vision, cameras that record constantly with cloud backup, motion detection, and an intercom so you don't have to open the doors to talk to anyone, is all there. Inside, it's surprisingly refined. Italian leather, Alcantara, heated seats, and fiber optic starlight roof if you want to go all in. The infotainment setup ranges from a basic 7-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to a full-blown 10-inch screen with high-end sound systems. You also get emergency kits, first aid, gas masks, cold weather gear, because of course you do. It may cost $259,000. Mission Master CXT is that kind of machine you send when the terrain is unpredictable. The job is high risk, and silence matters. Its real strength is its adaptability. Need it to move supplies, evacuate a casualty, or scout an area? Done. Want to equip it with sensors, drones, or a communication hub? It's ready. One of its most striking roles includes a weapon station with dual M134D miniguns, firing up to 6,000 rounds per minute and built to stop drones or provide close-range fire support. It measures just over 3 meters long and weighs around 2,200 kilograms empty, but it can carry a full 1,000 kilograms load and still swim fully loaded. On the ground, it hits speeds up to 70 kilometers per hour. In water, it moves at a steady 4 to 5 kilometers per hour. It can turn on the spot and handle narrow or uneven paths without issue. Power comes from a diesel-electric hybrid setup, giving it a range of about 280 kilometers, 25 of those in full electric mode for near-silent movement. That matters when stealth is part of the mission. Its tire system can adjust pressure while moving, letting it push through snow, sand, and rocky terrain, even with punctures. Control options are smart tablets, wearable devices, or a single-hand controller, backed by Rheinmetall's autonomy system that supports waypoint navigation, follow-me mode, and convoy operations. Safety is layered in, with human control required for any weapon use and full compliance with military safety standards. This one can launch a drone from its roof and deploy tear gas from hidden ports, all while tracking threats with its thermal imaging. Inside, it transforms into a mobile command post, field hospital, SWAT hub, or troop transport. It has surveillance gear, GPS, and for crowd control, you can add water cannons or tear gas systems. Modular armor panels snap on or off in the field, making upgrades fast. Mounted on a man chassis, it weighs approximately 22 tons in combat mode and 18.5 tons unladen, supporting a payload of up to 3,500 kilograms. It is powered by a man-turbo diesel engine, delivering 362 horsepower. This is paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission, giving the vehicle a top speed near 110 kilometers per hour and a range of about 500 kilometers. Designed to transport a crew of 2 plus up to 24 fully equipped personnel, it provides a large, reconfigurable interior suited to operational demands. First, it was adopted by São Paulo's military police to replace aging units. 6 Guarders entered service in 2014 and were deployed during the Rio 2016 Olympics. From that day till now, it continues to operate in scenarios involving civil unrest and tactical response. The chassis, based on a commercial truck platform, allows maneuvering in city streets with easily. The Chaser 980 is designed to work in tough environments, and everything about it reflects that. The hull is made from thick, high-density polyethylene, 20 to 30 millimeters of it. It doesn't rust and doesn't weaken in salt water. Both the hull and the cabin are capable of offering protection from rifle fire, with armored glass and stainless steel fittings adding another layer of security. There are a few versions of the boat, but the foundation stays the same. The standard model is just over 10.5 meters long with a 9.8 meter hull. The 12-meter version stretches wider to 3 meters, and the biggest ones, some electric hybrid, reach up to 14 meters in length. In terms of speed, the 10-meter version runs twin 350 horsepower, topping out at 45 knots when empty and holding 40 knots when fully loaded. If you need more power, there is 12-meter version. It runs with 3 400 horsepower engines and hits 50 knots. Fuel tanks hold between 570 and 1,600 liters depending on the model. Power comes from 2 marine batteries, and larger boats include a generator and a third battery. Navigation and control systems cover all the essentials: GPS, radar, VHF radio, engine monitoring, plus lighting, sirens, and public address. The crew consists of 2, helmsman and navigator, with room for 4 to 12 others depending on the variant. Weapon mounts can handle heavy or remote-controlled systems, and when it's time to move, the boat fits cleanly into a standard 40-foot shipping container. The UK has always had its own way of building tanks. British armored vehicles often feel a bit different, sometimes even a little odd, compared to what other countries roll out. Just look at the Challenger. It's the only modern NATO tank that still uses a rifled gun. That kind of out-of-the-box thinking shows up in their APCS too. Take the Saracen FV-603. It's a wheeled personnel carrier built between 1952 and 1970. And even though only about 1,000 were made, it still turns heads today, thanks to its unique design. This 6-wheeled armored personnel carrier combined solid engineering with straightforward practicality. At its heart is a Rolls-Royce 8-cylinder petrol engine, putting out around 160 horsepower. All 6 wheels have independent torsion bar suspension, with the front 4 doing the steering. On the road, it could reach speeds of 72 kilometers per hour, and in rougher terrain, about 32 kilometers per hour. Don't worry about long trip, a full tank can give it a 400 kilometers range. Size-wise, it's compact by armored standards, just over 5 meters long, 2.5 wide, and under 2.5 high. Fully equipped, it weighed around 11 tons. The steel hull wasn't the thickest, 16 millimeters at the front, 8 to 9 millimeters along the sides, but it offered enough protection for the job. The crew sat up front, with space in the rear for up to 9 troops, who entered through double doors at the back or hatches in the roof. 6 firing ports let them engage from inside. The Saracen was used everywhere from Northern Ireland to Kuwait, Malaya, Nigeria, and Sri Lanka. It served well into the 1980s and was exported widely. This machine isn't built for everyday work. It's made for chaos. When the bullets fly, buildings fall, or roads vanish, this is what you send in. It can drag a busted tank out of a firefight or punch through debris where no road exists. It's raw power wrapped in armor, designed to take on the brutal jobs no one else can handle. It runs on a powerful 8.9-liter VI6 diesel engine, pushing out 380 horsepower. It comes in either 4x4 or 6x6 configurations, paired with an automatic transmission and a rugged off-road drivetrain that's built to handle rough ground while carrying heavy weight. The crane system can lift up to 13,000 kilograms, and hydraulic outriggers lock it in place during heavy operations. It's armored to handle rifle fire and shrapnel. It's also resistant to mine and IED blasts. Inside, there's room for 2 crew members, One driver, one operator, seated in shock-resistant seating. A rear toolbox provides extra space for tools or mission gear. The armor can be configured based on the mission. This Barricade vehicle is like an armored fire truck, dives into chaos, unbreakable, built to break through and protect. It has shown up in places like Jambi, Indonesia, likely used during riots, road lockdowns, or large-scale public events. At its core, it's a heavy-duty truck, probably something like a Ford F-550 or Ram 5500. Under the hood, a turbo diesel engine pushes out somewhere between 300 to 400 horsepower. Plenty of muscle for hauling armor and gear through rough streets or off-road stretches. The suspension is reinforced, the sway bars are heavy, and the ride is built to carry weight without giving out. The armor looks strong enough to stop rifle rounds, with dark layered windows that likely mix polycarbonate and ballistic glass. What really sets this thing apart is the hydraulic ram up front. It's not just for show. It can hit with an estimated 2,000 to 5,000 pounds of force. Up top, a boom arm handles heavier lifts like roadblocks or bollards, probably from a distance. From the videos, it's clear this isn't just about brute force. There's a full speaker system mounted for crowd communication, along with cameras for monitoring what's happening outside. Some external wiring suggests it might feed video to another unit or mobile command post. It can carry 2 to 4 people, depending on the mission. Few patrol boats move like the CB-90HSM. It's fast, sharp in the water, and purpose-built for real-world missions, not just clean harbors and calm seas. Developed by Saab and shaped by more than 30 years of hands-on use across global navies, this is a platform that's learned from experience. It's over 16 meters long, just under 4 meters wide, and draws less than a meter, perfect for shallow waters and tight approaches. Twin 900 horsepower Scania diesel engines drive water jets that push it to 45 knots at full load. It cruises at 38 knots for up to 300 nautical miles. All that speed doesn't come at the cost of control. It can stop within a couple of boat lengths and make tight turns even in coastal clutter. The hull's made from aluminum, with extra layers of protection inside, polyethylene lining and ballistic glass to help shield against hostile threats. The weapon layout is flexible. 5 mount points allow for heavy machine guns, grenade launchers, mines, and potentially 25mm chain guns or missiles down the line. Saab's TrackFire remote weapon station gives operators a clear targeting view, day or night, even when the boat's moving fast. It's backed by a combat system and radar setup that ties everything together. It's already in use with navies from Sweden to Mexico, and with an expected lifespan of 25 years, it's built to stay in the fight for a long time. During Hurricanes Harvey and Irma, the LENCO MedEvac rescued flood victims unreachable by standard vehicles. Its off-road power, deep water capability, and onboard medical gear saved lives in extreme conditions. It is powered by a turbo diesel V8 engine, delivering around 440 horsepower. It's built on a modified Ford F-550 chassis and weighs close to 18,000 pounds. 4-wheel drive, a reinforced suspension, and run-flat tires let it handle rough terrain, deep water up to 4 feet, and unstable ground. On clear roads, it can hit speeds of up to 81 miles per hour. Inside, it functions as a rolling emergency room. The standard setup fits 2 patients on litters, and the military version holds up to 4. There are onboard oxygen tanks, trauma lighting, IV and suction mounts, and a powered workstation. Storage for medical equipment is built in, and dual climate controls keep the space livable under pressure. The vehicle is protected with military-grade steel and ballistic glass. rated to stop high-caliber rounds, including 50 calibers. Its design lines up with other Bearcat models, which simplifies upkeep and part replacement. It measures about 20 feet long, 10 feet wide, and over 12 feet tall. For more, there's a rotating roof hatch with a protective cupola, firing ports, a thermal camera, and gas detection. Communication systems run throughout, and some models carry roof-mounted water cannons for fire response. It can also be outfitted with tools like sound deterrents, chemical agents, or hydraulic rams depending on the job. The Kronos submarine had its initial test run this year, and it's already capturing attention. Popular platforms such as the New York Post have featured it prominently. So, what's behind all the excitement? At just over 9 meters long and over 7 meters wide, it's compact enough to be transported on a truck, yet big enough to carry a pilot and 10 passengers. It weighs 10 metric tons and can take on 3 more in cargo while cruising on the surface. Power comes from a hybrid setup, a 1,200 horsepower electric motor with serious torque and a diesel generator that keeps batteries charged and missions going longer. It moves fast, up to 80 kilometers per hour above water, 50 kilometers per hour below, and can run 18 hours on battery alone, 36 on diesel, or stretch to 54 hours using both. It supports 36 hours of breathable air, and a recharge or air refill takes about an hour and a half. Maneuvering is where it gets surprising. It can whip into a full 180-degree turn at top speed, something unheard of in traditional subs. Jet propulsion and fin controls give it handling more like an aircraft underwater. It also runs quiet and blends into sonar scans thanks to its electric drive. There's no traditional window in the cockpit. Instead, the pilot relies on a 360-degree camera system, night and thermal vision, sonar, radar, and high-definition screens. The cabin includes air conditioning, adaptive lighting, and optional rest facilities. It's armed too, 6 torpedo tubes loaded with Black Scorpion mini torpedoes. It can launch drones, attach magnetic devices to targets, and even operate without a crew when needed. This Japan robot stands over 12 feet tall, weighs nearly 5 tons, and rolls on 4 wheels powered by a diesel engine. It doesn't walk, but it can move at about 6 miles per hour. The frame is steel, the exterior is armored with carbon fiber reinforced plastic, and the controls feel closer to flying a plane than driving a car. You can pilot it from inside a cockpit or operate it remotely using a smartphone or even hand gestures through a Kinect system. The arms move by mimicking your own, thanks to a motion-syncing setup. As for weapons, it's armed, at least in spirit. One arm holds twin guns that shoot 6,000 plastic pellets per minute, triggered by something as simple as a smile. There's also a bottle rocket launcher, less for intimidation, more for effect. The robot was developed by Kogoro Kurata, who wanted to bring the giant machines of anime into the real world. He teamed up with roboticist Wataru Yoshizaki, who designed the control system that lets the robot respond to movements in real time. The project was first introduced in 2012, and since then, it's turned heads at tech expos and public events, not just because it looks like something out of science fiction, but because it works. To get inside, the pilot climbs through a front hatch and settles into a molded seat surrounded by screens, joysticks, and motion sensors. The robot's hands can wave, grip objects, or strike poses, depending on how they're set up.